At least one person was killed while 12 others were injured in firing from across the Afghan border. The injured had been shifted to the Chaman district headquarters hospital, where the emergency had been declared at hospitals in Chaman in light of the current situation. Senior government sources requesting anonymity confirmed that the firing originated from inside Afghanistan. However, in a statement, the Afghan Defense Ministry accused Pakistan of initiating the skirmish, adding that Kabul considers dialogue as the only logical way to resolve problems. Meanwhile, Balochistan Minister for Home Affairs Mir Ziaullah Langrov condemned the incident before adding that the army knew how to defend the country's borders. The incident comes 4 days after at least 7 people lost their lives and 16 others suffered injuries in Chaman, which came under heavy gunfire and artillery shelling by Afghan border forces, the military's media wing said. The ISPR had described the incident as uncalled for aggression and said Pakistani troops had given a befitting but measured response and avoided targeting civilians on the other side. Defense Minister Khwaja Asif had subsequently said that the interim government in Afghanistan had apologized to Pakistan for the incident, saying that the matter is now resolved. An Islamabad district and sessions court deemed the Election Commission of Pakistan's petition for criminal proceedings against PTI chairman Imran Khan in the Toshakhana reference as maintainable and summoned the PTI leader in person next month. Additional Sessions Judge Zafar Iqbal issued a notice to Imran, summoning him to be present in the court on 9th January. The reference was filed by the ECP last month after it had disqualified the PTI chief on 21st October in the Toshakhana reference under Article 63(1)(p) of the Constitution, read with Sections 137 and 173 of the Elections Act 2017. The reference asked the court to proceed against Imran under criminal law for allegedly misleading officials about the gifts he received from the foreign dignitaries during his tenure as the Prime Minister. On Monday, the Islamabad District and Sessions Court reserved its verdict on the case after hearing ECP counsel advocate Saad Hassan's arguments, alleging that the former Prime Minister had deliberately concealed his assets relating to Toshakhana gifts retained by him. President Dr. Arif Alvi met Punjab Chief Minister Chaudhry Parvez Ilahi to discuss the current political and economic situation of Pakistan along with matters of mutual interest. A statement released by the President's Secretariat said. Former Federal Minister Munis Ilahi and MNA Hussain Ilahi were also present in the meeting held in Lahore. According to the press release, the leaders deliberated on ways to improve the country's economy. Alvi said that he was determined to resolve matters amicably, adding that there was no such thing as a final word in politics. He also hoped that better pathways would soon emerge for Pakistan. Meanwhile, CM Ilahi briefed the President on the ongoing development projects in Punjab and expressed resolve to provide relief to the people of the province, the statement added. Today's meeting comes a day after PTI chairman Imran Khan said he would announce the date for the dissolution of Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa assemblies on 17 December. PTI leader Shah Mahmood Qureshi said that the party had written a letter to National Assembly Speaker Raja Parvez Ashraf seeking the acceptance of the remaining resignations of PTI lawmakers. Speaker Ashraf earlier this week said he would not be accepting the resignations of any lawmakers from the PTI unless he was sure they weren't tendered under any pressure. Addressing the matter in a media talk, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who was flanked by PTI leader Fawad Chaudhry, said that even though the resignations had been accepted by Suri earlier, the orders had not yet been implemented. The former foreign minister lambasted the incumbent National Assembly Speaker for being selective in accepting the resignations of only 11 MNAs in an illegal manner. Qureshi accused Ashraf of using his office as custodian of the House for partisan reasons and to provide political mileage to the incumbent coalition government by not accepting all the resignations. He went on to highlight that his party was adamant about its decision to dissolve the assemblies.
मेरे दस्तखतों के साथ ये खत मैं भेज रहा हूं as Vice Chairman of PTI और Deputy पार्लिमानी लीडर पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ के कि मैं स्पीकर साहब को भेज रहा हूं कि हमें वो वक्त दें, हमें वो बुलाएं ताकि हम इज्तिमाई तौर पर उनके सामने पेश हो सकें और अपने इस्तीफों का अयादा कर सकें.
In a move aimed at boosting foreign reserves, the Economic Coordination Committee approved the export of 100,000 metric tons of sugar. The decision was taken in a meeting presided by Finance Minister Ishaq Dar. It stated that the committee would review the situation on a fortnightly basis. Earlier, Dawn reported that exporting sugar will help fetch some direly needed foreign exchange earnings, according to the sugar industry, and relieve the mills and farmers from cash flow problems and financing costs. The industry has been demanding the export of 1.2 million tons of sugar and delaying crushing as provincial governments enhance minimum support by over 30% for the current crop season. The government has been resisting sugar export, fearing that this would lead to shortage and price hikes in the domestic market, to the political disadvantage of the incumbent PDM government, already facing public criticism for unprecedented inflation that hit 26.6% in October. Shares at the Pakistan Stock Exchange fell by more than 500 points, with analysts attributing it to delays in the completion of the IMF 9th review and rising political uncertainty. The benchmark KSE 100 index closed at 41,179.76 points, down by 557.86 points or 1.34%. The index had started falling sharply soon after trading opened, reaching an intraday low of 627.67 points around 10:20 am. The index recovered a bit afterwards before falling again. Market analysts said market sentiment was weak on apprehensions that the release of the IMF tranche could possibly be delayed till next year. Pakistan entered a $6 billion IMF program in 2019, which was increased to $7 billion earlier this year. The program's 9th review is currently pending, with remote talks being held between the IMF officials and the government for the release of $1.18 billion. Pakistan and the IMF had a round of engagement on 18th November but could not finalize a schedule for formal talks on the overdue 9th review. The talks, originally due in the last week of October, were rescheduled to 3rd November and then kept on facing delays following gaps in estimates by the two sides.